You walk into a grocery store on a Saturday afternoon, and within minutes, something shifts. It's not panic exactly, it's more like your skin gets louder. Every voice, every cartwheel squeaking, every fluorescent light buzzing overhead starts pressing against you from all directions. And you don't know why, but you suddenly need to leave. Not in 5 minutes. Now. You get to your car, and you sit there for a second, and you feel this weird mix of relief and shame. Because it was just a grocery store. It was just people buying cereal and arguing about coupons. Nothing happened. So why did your body act like you were in danger? Here's the thing most people never get told. That reaction, it's not weakness. It's not social anxiety in disguise. It's not you being dramatic. Your nervous system was doing exactly what it was built to do. And once you understand why, you might stop fighting yourself and start working with the incredible machine that's been trying to protect you this whole time. Let's go somewhere unexpected for a second. About 200,000 years ago, your ancestors lived in groups of maybe 20 to 50 people. That was the whole world. You knew every face, every voice, every footstep. Your brain evolved to track social environments with that kind of precision. It could read a room of 30 people the way you might read a paragraph. Every micro-expression registered. Every shift in body language got filed and processed. Now, fast forward to a modern shopping mall on a December afternoon. Your brain walks in and tries to do the same thing it's always done. It tries to read every face, track every voice, assess every person for threat or alliance or intention, but instead of 30 people, there are 300 or 3,000, and your brain doesn't have a setting for that. It doesn't know how to half pay attention. It was never designed to. So what happens is something neuroscientists call sensory overload, but I think that term undersells it. What's really happening is your brain is running a social surveillance program that was built for a small village, and you've dropped it into Times Square. It's not malfunctioning, it's functioning exactly as designed, in an environment it was never designed for. And this is where it gets really interesting. Because not everyone experiences this the same way, and the reason has a lot to do with how your particular nervous system is wired. There's a trait that researcher Elaine Aron has spent decades studying called sensory processing sensitivity. About 15 to 20% of the population has it. And it doesn't mean you're fragile or overly emotional. It means your nervous system processes stimuli more deeply than average. You take in more. You notice more. The volume knob on your perception is turned up a few notches higher than most people around you. So when you walk into a crowd, you're not just seeing people, you're absorbing them. The conversations you're not even part of are being partially decoded by your brain in the background. The emotional energy of the room, the tension between strangers, someone's bad mood leaking out through their posture, all of that is landing on you whether you want it to or not. And honestly, this one surprised me too when I first learned it. Your brain doesn't distinguish between social information that's relevant to you and social information that isn't. It processes all of it. Every face is a data point. Every voice is a signal. And in a crowd, that's hundreds or thousands of signals hitting you at once with no way to filter them. Your amygdala, the part of your brain responsible for detecting threats, starts getting louder. Not because there is a threat, but because it can't confirm there isn't one. It's scanning, 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 and it can't complete the scan. Too many variables, too many unknowns. So it does what any good alarm system does when it can't determine safety. It assumes danger. It floods your body with cortisol and adrenaline. Your heart rate goes up. Your breathing gets shallow, your muscles tighten, and you feel that unmistakable pull toward the exit. You know what's fascinating about this? It's the same response a gazelle has when it hears a sound in tall grass it can't identify. The gazelle doesn't wait to see if it's a lion. It runs. Your brain is doing the gazelle thing in a grocery store, over someone's cart blocking the cereal aisle. But here's what I think most people miss about this. The discomfort you feel in crowds isn't just sensory, it's deeply social. Humans are wired to co-regulate. That means your nervous system is constantly, unconsciously syncing with the people around you. When you're with someone calm, you feel calmer. When you're with someone anxious, your body picks it up even if they don't say a word. In a crowd, you're co-regulating with dozens or hundreds of strangers simultaneously. And here's the problem. You can't. Co-regulation works in small groups where emotional signals are clear and consistent. In a crowd, the emotional signals are chaotic, contradictory, and overwhelming. Your nervous system is trying to sync with everyone and syncing with no one. It's like trying to tune a radio to 15 stations at once. All you get is static, and that static feels like anxiety. There's another layer to this that doesn't get talked about enough. Personal space isn't just a preference. It's a neurological boundary. Research by neuroscientist Michael Graziano has shown that your brain maintains an invisible map of the space around your body. It's called parapersonal space. And when someone enters that space, your brain shifts into a heightened monitoring state. It's tracking that person more closely, preparing your body to respond if needed. In a crowd, that boundary is being crossed constantly by strangers from every direction, and your brain is responding to each crossing each time without a break. It's exhausting. Not emotionally exhausting, although that too. Neurologically exhausting. Your brain is burning through resources at a rate that simply isn't sustainable, and at some point it says, "We're done here," and it starts pushing you toward the door. And I think that's the part most people miss. When you feel like you can't handle crowds, you're not experiencing a failure of character. You're experiencing a success of biology. Your brain is doing a very sophisticated, very ancient thing. It's prioritizing your safety in an environment it reads as unpredictable. The fact that the environment is a target on a Saturday and not an open savanna doesn't matter to your limbic system. It doesn't know about shopping carts. It knows about threat assessment and energy conservation, and getting you somewhere quiet so it can stop running calculations. It was never meant to run this fast for this long. So, what do you do with this information? Well, first, you stop calling yourself broken. That's the big one. Because every time you shame yourself for needing to leave a party early or avoiding concerts or choosing the self-checkout lane to dodge the crowd at the registers, you're punishing your nervous system for doing its job. Instead, you start working with it. You learn your window of tolerance, the range of stimulation your system can handle before it starts sounding alarms. And you plan around it, not as a limitation, but as self-knowledge. The same way someone with fair skin wears sunscreen without feeling ashamed of their skin, you can navigate crowds strategically without treating it as a defect. Some people find that noise-reducing earbuds help because they cut the auditory input in half while still letting you function. Some people find that having one person with them, someone whose presence their nervous system recognizes as safe, makes crowds manageable. That's co-regulation working in your favor. Your brain latches onto that one familiar signal and uses it as an anchor in the chaos. And some people find that just understanding what's happening, just knowing it's not anxiety or weakness or antisocial behavior, is enough to change their entire relationship with the experience. Because the shame was always heavier than the crowd itself. Here's what I want to leave you with. Your brain is not broken. It's ancient. It's running software that was written for a world that no longer exists. And it's doing the best it can with the impossible amount of information modern life throws at it every single day. The fact that you feel overwhelmed in crowds doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It might mean your brain is paying more attention than most. And in a world that rewards numbness, that's not a flaw. That might be one of the most human things about you. If this hits somewhere real, I'd love to hear about it. Tell me in the comments, what's your experience with crowds? When did you first notice it? And what's the one thing that helps you the most? When it happens? Sometimes just knowing other people feel it too makes the whole thing a little lighter.